Hey Anna, this is part 2. I just got done. Let me stop this from swaying. I just got done with your first part, which is right here. And I'm going to start your second part. And this one, we're going to be focusing on the sine value, which is y. Now, if you can imagine, we're going to try to do the exact same thing, and it's going to follow a very similar pattern, except there's going to be a small difference. Okay? So, at this point, we're going to have theta, and we're going to find the y value. Okay, so we'll start off at theta, pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 4, pi over 3, then we'll say pi over 2. Okay? This is the same as 30, 45, 30, 45, 60, and then 90 degrees. Now, when theta is equal to 0, that's this, you can see y is equal to 1. It's on the x-axis. Or y is equal to 0. Okay? So I'll write that in right there. This is 0. Likewise, when theta is equal to pi over 2 or 90 degrees, the y value is completely off the x-axis, and it doesn't go any way that way or that way. So this is 1, and we know that because the radius of the circle is 1, and it has no x value. So we'll plug that in right here. Now, just like last time, we're going to have these points we need to fill in. So I'll fill those in. And we're going to be thinking of the y value. Now the height from here to here is 1/2. The height from here to here is the square root of 2 divided by 2. The height from here to here is the square root of 3 divided by 2. Okay. Now, as you can see, this has a similar pattern as the cosine graph. We can say this is the square root of 0 divided by 2, the square root of 1 divided by 2, the square root of root 2 divided by 2, the square root of 3 divided by 2, and finally the square root of 4 divided by 2. Okay? And I'll plug these into our equation, or not equation, but chart. Again, if this will help you memorize it, you can write this down. But I highly encourage you to try doing it without that and to get this down. Because if you can get this down, then you'll be able to use it on anything at any time, and you'll never forget it. Okay, so there's a big difference between cosine and sine. And that difference will be shown in the next 3. For cosine, this value was negative, but for y, it won't be. And the reason for that is we're still above the x-axis. For the x value, as soon as we got to the left of this, it becomes negative. But we're doing the y value, which is the distance from here to here. And as you can see, this is still positive. Okay? So we have 0, square root of 1 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, square root of 4 over 2. Now it's going to start going back down. So we'll say square root of 3 divided by 2, the square root of 2 divided by 2, square root of 1 divided by 2, and then the square root of 0 divided by 2. If you notice, this value is exactly the same as this value. This one's the same as this one, and this one is the exact same as this one. And those two are the same. Okay? Now, likewise, there's going to be 3 more points. Okay. Now, the distance from here to here is the y value. Okay? And that value is negative square root of 1 divided by 2. This one is this distance, which is negative square root of 2 divided by 2. this one is this distance, which is negative square root of 3 divided by 2. And this one is negative square root of 4 divided by 2, or 1, negative 1. The reason it's negative is because we're going below the x-axis. Because y is negative below the x-axis, the sign of y is negative when the theta is pointing in this direction. Okay? Now I didn't finish this up on the last one, so I won't finish up it in this one. But if you can memorize one of these, then you're going to be able to do both of them. And the reasoning for that is this equation. X squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So even though if you can memorize one of them, you should be able to memorize the other one. Let's say you can't, and all you can memorize is this one. Okay? And you have the point, we'll say it's square root of 2 over 2. So you have that cosine squared plus sine squared is equal to 1. Okay? Cosine is equal to square root of 2 over 2. You gotta remember, this is not theta is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. This is the cosine of theta. So we'll write square root of 2 divided by 2. Actually, I'll write that out. Cosine of theta is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. This is just an example. Okay? So cosine the square root of 2 over 2, and that's squared, plus sine squared is equal to 1. Okay? So we'll square this, and we'll get 2 divided by 4. Okay? So 2 divided by 4 plus sine squared is equal to 1. So this is equal to 1/2, and we'll bring this over here. So sine squared is equal to 1/2. Okay? That will take the square root of that. So sine is equal to the square root of, oops, let me rewrite this. Okay, so we bring this over here, so we have sine squared is equal to, we'll say 4 over 4, or 1, minus 2 divided by 4, which is equal to 2 over 4. Okay? We'll take the square root of both sides, so sine is equal to the square root of 2 divided by the square root of 4, which is 2. Okay? And if you look, when cosine is equal to the square root of 2 over 2, which is right here, which is 45 degrees, sine is equal to the square root of 2 over 2, right there, which is 45 degrees. They're equal. And that makes sense because the legs are the same. It's 45 degrees. Okay? Now, the biggest thing you need to remember is it's x, y. Okay? If you can remember that, and you can remember the pattern, you'll be able to figure out any of them. Okay? So, let's say you're taking a quiz, and you needed to know the cosine of, we'll say, 2 pi over 3. Okay, so 2 pi over 3, we'll say 2 times 180 divided by 3, which is equal to 120 degrees. Okay? And so I'll just do this real quickly. Well, this is how you should try to be able to do it. You just draw a circle, and you draw the coordinates, and cosine's the x value. Okay? So you draw this, and so this is 90. The next point, the very next point, will be 120 degrees. Okay? So you go, this is 1, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over, or square root of 3 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, square root of 4 over 2. This would be the square root of 3, of 1, divided by 2. This is 0. Okay? That's your answer.